Hi dear students, today in the online session I am going to take a small session on sales management, and in sales management, sales territory management and sales quota management is an important area. So first let us have a look at what do you mean by sales territory. Now a sales territory consists of the existing and the potential customers assigned to a salesperson or to a sales manager. Now, most of the companies allot the sales manager or the salespeople to geographical territories. For example, you have a Kerala marketing manager or a Kerala sales manager. You have a sales manager for every district in Kerala. For example, you have a sales manager for Trivandrum. You have a sales manager for Ernakulam district, or maybe you have a sales manager for Tamil Nadu. And any other states. So it's geographically you assign the territories. You have a country manager for multinational companies. You have a country manager for India who looks into the sales management of the entire country. So in all these cases, the geographical territories are assigned by the company to the sales manager. Now sometimes the prospective customers consisting of current and prospecting customers also is considered. Okay. Now let's look at why do we actually assign sales territories, or what are the major benefits or the reasons of assigning sales territories. Now the first important thing is it increases the market share or the customer coverage. Okay. It helps you to increase the market coverage or the customer coverage. For example, if you have a sales manager, if you have for example 100 customers in Kerala, and if you have one sales manager, so one sales manager will have to cover 100 customers. For example, if you have two people for North Kerala and South Kerala, so each person will have to cover only 50 customers each. So if you have a proper sales territory, it helps you better the customer coverage and the better the market coverage. Second thing is it gives you control of the selling expenses. Okay, there's an expense for selling, the salary of the sales manager, his travel allowances, the distribution charges, all these things contributes to the expenses of selling. So if you have proper territories, you can control the expenses. Another thing is it also helps to evaluate the sales force performance. For example, if you have a person for Kerala, if you have a person for Delhi, if you have a person for Goa, you can compare. Okay, you can say that the person in Goa is doing better than Delhi, or maybe the sales manager of Kerala is doing better than the Delhi sales manager. So you can do the comparison only if you have a territory assigned to the salesperson. And it also helps to improve the customer relationship. Okay, if you have the right person in the right territory, it helps you to have better customer relationship. It also increases the effectiveness of the sales force. Okay, and ultimately it improves the profit and the performance. Okay. Now coming to the procedure for designing the sales territories, usually you have two methods. Okay, initially you select a control unit and find a location and potential of present and prospective customers, okay, in the control unit. So for example, a control unit can be for a geographically, for example, the control unit can be India. You have a country called India, so the unit is India. Okay, and then you find location and potential of present and prospective customers. You find out, for example, your product is something, it's a computer, it's an institutional product. For example, it's a supercomputer which can be only bought by big companies. So you'll find out where are the companies located in India. You have a company in Bangalore, you have some companies in Bombay, you have some companies in Delhi, you have some companies in Calcutta, you have some other companies in Chennai. So these are the major cities where you have the companies who can buy your products. So you have located the places, the potential customers. Then you decide the basic territories. Okay. Now there are two methods here. You can either go for a build-up method or a breakdown method. You can go for a build-up method or a breakdown method. I'll tell you what these two methods are. Okay, companies use both these methods. Let us have a look at what is build-up method. in this method, you first decide the customer call frequency. For example, you want your customer in Bombay to be called or to be visited every week. You want your customer to be in Chennai also to be visited every week, the one in Bangalore also to be visited every week, or so. Then you decide, then you calculate the total number of customer calls in each control unit. Okay, so you have, for example, you have 5 customers in Bombay. So every week 5 customers. So in a month you have 4 weeks. So 4 weeks into 5 customers, you have 20 calls. Okay, you have 20 calls to make. Okay, you have 4 weeks, 5 customers. So 5 customers every week. That means 5 into 4, 20 weeks. So you have 20 calls in Bombay to make. Then you estimate the workload capacity of a salesperson. If you find out whether a salesperson will be able to do it, whether can he visit, can he make 20 calls in a month? Can he fly down from, for example, if he's in Delhi, can he fly down to Bombay and do 20 calls in a month? Then you make tentative territories. Then you find out no, it is not possible. So we require a sales manager exclusively for Bombay. So you have a person in Mumbai. You post him in Mumbai as sales manager for Mumbai. Then you develop the final territory. Then you find that you require a sales manager in Mumbai, in Chennai, in Calcutta, in Bangalore. So that is how the build-up method. Okay, the objective is to equalize the workload of salespersons. So every person will have approximately 50 to 100 calls, or I told you like 20 calls or 20 to 50 calls, or you assign each person will have 50 calls every month, or 100 or 60 calls every month. So everyone will have equal workload. So that is the peculiarity of this model. Okay. Then I'll take you to the next model called as a breakdown method. You have the build-up method. Now you look at what is let's have a look at what is the breakdown method. Here what you do is you estimate the company's sales potential for the total market. For example, total India is a market, for example. You estimate what is the total sales potential. The company wants to sell, for example, the company wants to sell 100 units, or you will take 1000 units. Let's be very optimistic, 1000 units in India, okay, in a month. Then the forecast sales potential for each control unit. Okay, you have I told you have 5 cities. For example, you have Mumbai, you have Chennai, you have Calcutta, you have Bangalore, you have Hyderabad, 5 cities. Now from these 5 cities they want to sell 1000 units. Okay, then estimate the sales volume expected from each salesperson. Then you estimate how much each person can sell. Okay, and based on that you make the tentative territories, and based on that you'll say, okay, this salesperson he can sell 100 units. Okay, the other guy he can sell for example 200 units. Okay, the Bombay person can sell, because it's a better market, he can sell maybe 300 units. So like that you arrive at a point, okay, that you arrive at the targets or the budget for each person. And that is how you make the sales territory. Okay, and then you develop the final territories. So here also objective is to equalize the sales potential of territories. Okay, so Mumbai has a potential, Chennai has a potential, or Bangalore has a potential. So based on the potential of the territory, you assign the targets. Okay, that is how the territories are made. So you have 2 methods. You have the build-up method and the breakdown method. Now, how do you assign sales people to the territories? So you have the territories. Then how do you assign the sales people? The sales manager should consider 2 criteria. The first one is the relative ability of the salesperson to sell. The second one is the salesperson's effectiveness in a territory. Let's have a look at what is the relative ability. First one is relative ability of the salesperson, because each salesperson's ability may be different. Some of them will be really smart, really what you call, there are wonderful salesperson who are born salesperson. Okay, so basically you look at these critical factors like his product knowledge. Some people have very good product knowledge, they have very good market knowledge. There are people who know the market very well, and for example the past performance, Some salespersons are really good performers, okay, in his previous company or in the same company has been performing well. The communication skill of some people are really good, and ultimately some of them have really good selling skills. Okay, so based on all these things, you will this decides the relative ability of the salesperson to sell. So the first thing is to consider is the ability of the salesperson, and the second one is the effectiveness of the salesperson in a territory. For example, in some territories, some salesperson will be effective. It depends on the social, the cultural, the language, the physical characteristic, and other things. For example, a local person, somebody who knows the local language, somebody who knows the local culture, he will be effective in a territory. Okay, a South Indian will be effective in a South Indian market. A North Indian Hindi speaking guy will be effective in a market like Delhi or Lucknow or Mumbai. Okay, and if you go to Bangalore or Chennai, you will prefer a salesperson who knows the culture of South India, who can speak Tamil, who can speak English, who can speak because South Indians are more comfortable in English, and who can speak the local language, who can speak Kannada or Telugu or Urdu. For example, in Hyderabad, somebody who can speak Urdu can also survive. So these are certain things which decides the effectiveness of a salesperson in a territory. So two things: the ability, second is effectiveness. So based on this, you need to assign the salespeople. Okay. Now the management. Now, how do you manage the territorial coverage? Okay, how a salesperson should cover the assigned sales territory? There are three tasks for a sales manager. First is planning the efficient route of a salesperson, how he travels, the route of traveling. Okay, basically salespeople have to travel a lot. You need to plan the efficient traveling or the route of a salesperson. Second is you need to schedule the salesperson time, how often he should travel. Okay, maybe weekly or daily or maybe fortnightly or monthly. You need to assign how much the scheduling of his time. Next is the time management tools. You need to give him some time management tool. How much time he should use for or how much time he should spend at a customer place, or how much time he should use for traveling. So that is the time management tools. So these are three things, the three important things. Now let's first have a look at routing. Routing is an important thing. How does the travel plan of a salesperson, the route in which he travels across the territory and to meet the customers, is very important, to make the customer calls in a territory. The benefits of the reasons for routing. What are the benefits of a good routing? It reduces the travel time and cost. If you plan properly the travel, you can reduce the travel time and the cost of traveling. It also improves the coverage of the territory. If you plan properly, you can cover all the customers in the territory. Okay. Now it depends on the type of product also, the nature of the product. Okay. For example, in FMCG markets, it's very important, and the type of the job is important for example, for the driver come salesperson are there. In some cases, the salesperson drives himself the vehicle, and sometimes as a flexible route plan is required for some kind of, for example, if it's a software industry or a service product kind of things, it will be different. Now the procedure of setting up a routing plan, there are different procedures used. Now first, identify the current and the prospective customers in a territory map. You should have a map of your territory. In the map, you should identify where all your customers are. Then classify each customer into high potential customer, medium potential customer, and low potential customer. And then you should decide the frequency of each customer. Okay, how much? Okay, high potential customer, he should be visited frequently. Medium customer, yeah, quite often. And if it's a low potential customer, you need not visit him very frequently. Okay, and your route plan and location should be around the high potential customers. There are a lot of mathematical models used for this. Transportation model you must have learned in management science. Your MS and your OR classes you must have learned, operation research classes. which can be used, but I would say there are some commonly used patterns. Okay, you can use some of your common sense also here rather than being very technical. There are some common models. The first one is the straight line or the hopscotch model. You can see hopscotch or the straight line model, where you have a base point. From the base point you travel to the farthest customer. From the base point you will travel to the farthest customer. The customer who is in the most farthest customer. Okay, and from that customer, when you get back to your territory, your base point, you will visit all the other customers. That is not the straight line. Straight away you go to the farthest customer, and while returning to your headquarters and the base, you will visit all the other customers on the way back. That is not a straight line method. Simple straight line or the hopscotch model. Then you have the circular routing model. Your base will be in the center. Okay, the sales manager will be headquartered in the center, and all his high potential customers will be around him. So he will make a round. He will meet all the customers and get back. That is circular routing pattern. Then you also have the clover leaf. Okay, that's another common method. Okay, you have a clover leaf. Your base is in the center. Okay, the first day you make a first round of the customers, all potential customers in one direction. Next day you make another round. Okay, you cover all your customers in another direction, and another day you go and you visit all the customers in the next direction. And the fourth day you visit the other direction. For example, first day you go the north direction, second day you go the east, the third day you go the south, and other day you go the west direction. Ultimately you will cover all the people, and you're traveling. If you look at your travel, your route, it will be like a clover leaf. Okay, the shape of a clover leaf. Okay, so that is another common kind of routing. These are some of the common routing patterns. Okay, now another thing is scheduling. How often you should visit the customers. Okay, the time allocation, how to allocate the salesperson time. The sales manager communicates with the salesperson on major activities, how much time you should allocate with each customer, and and also the salesperson should discuss and decide how to increase the time spent on major activities. Okay, reduce the wastage of time on unnecessary things, traveling and doing unnecessary things, kind of thing. That is how you schedule things. Okay, the companies specify the call norms. Call norms means how many times or the norms of visiting each customer. Okay, it's not as call norms. The norms of visiting a customer for current customers based on the sales and profit potential, and also for prospective customers. The important customers you'll have to visit often. The less important ones you can visit less often. Okay, so that is regarding the scheduling. Okay, and there are some time management tools also used. Okay, to help the outside salesperson to manage their time efficiently and productively. There are some tools like high-tech equipments like laptops, computers and cell phones are used. Sometimes the inside sales people to provide clerical support, technical support, or for prospecting and to find out who are the prospective customers and qualifying as they remain within the company. Then the outside sales people you have can spend more time getting more orders and building relationships with major customers. So you have outside sales people, and also you have inside sales people who makes the call to the customers and does the processes. So the outside sales people travel outside the organization. They travel out. They really go and meet the customers. Whereas the inside sales people, they usually contact the customers over telephone, over emails, or other communication techniques. Okay. So this is about sales territories. Now another important thing is sales quotas. Regarding sales quota, I'll come back to you in the next video. So hope you have understood all the major things regarding sales territories. Okay, once again I'll just have a small recap of what I told you. It is sales territory consists of the existing and the potential customers assigned to a salesperson, usually geographical. Okay, and there are two methods: build-up method and breakdown method. In build-up method, you decide the customer call frequency, you calculate the total number of calls required in an area, and based on that, the territory is assigned. Okay, And the breakdown method, you have you decide how much the company wants to sell, total number of units to be sold, and the market potential, the sales potential, and based on that the potential you break down into the sales volume of each salesperson based on their potential, sales potential of each territories. Okay, and then assigning we have learned, then also we have learned routing techniques. We have learned some of the major routing techniques we have learned. You learned the different straight line method, the circular method, the clover leaf method. Okay, scheduling we have learned, and you also learned time management tools. Okay, so that's all from today's class.